We just updated the gamma exposure levels on our website, and here's our question. Is the market about to crash, or are we going back up to new highs? Let's see what the options market has to say. We'll go here to our gamma exposure data. On our dashboard, we can see we've got the gamma exposure data graph here lined up. SPY's got a big negative total gamma, negative 1.3 billion. I've seen this go as high as negative 3.5 billion. That was during big volatility spikes in 2022 as well as 2020. So negative 1.3 billion is pretty significant. Zero gamma is sitting here at 434. Basically, what this all means is that the options market is positioned below the neutral level. So there's definitely a negative skew in the SPY options market. You can see this big gamma concentration here at the 430 strike price on SPY. This could be a volatility trigger if we breach this significantly. You know, the VIX here is trading at 14, so I'm not as concerned with a huge volatility spike at this point. You know, this is basically signaling some complacency in the markets. If we were in a VIX of, let's say, 25 or 30, I would be very concerned about this being a large volatility trigger. We're not seeing huge negative total gamma in the other major indices, so I'm not as concerned right now with this on the SPY. But typically what would happen is this volatility trigger would be breached and we'd immediately go to the next gamma concentration level, which currently is sitting at 420. Let's come back here and let's look at the Qs, the other major ETF that we like to look at. You can see the positioning by option dealers we've highlighted here at the 370 and 355 levels on the Qs. This is much tighter than on the SPY. Gamma is negative on the Qs. If we come here and look at the gamma exposure data graph, we are negative 363 million. As I mentioned, if we were closer to negative 1 billion like we are on the SPY, I would be more concerned. Here, there's a lot of concentration, as I mentioned, between 355 and 370 on the Qs. We're already trading down at the 360 level, so right near that zero gamma level. There's not a lot of further put buying below these levels, so it's fairly muted as of right now. That could change, of course, if a bunch of put buyers come in or a bunch of selling pressure comes in, but right now, this is looking like this area is going to be the magnet for the coming days in the Qs. You can see here on our watch list, we got a ton of names. You know, I'm just highlighting a few of the major indices and ETFs, and let's go ahead and look at some other major names we like to look at. NVDA, that's been a hot one lately. We updated these gamma levels this morning. You can see dealers concentrated at the 400 and 440 levels, and we're sitting right around that zero gamma level. NVIDIA was trading at 440 just a few days ago. We sold off down to the 400 level, bounced right off of that. And check out this NVIDIA gamma exposure data graph from a few weeks ago. Actually, we posted this at the beginning of June when NVIDIA was trading at 400. Look at all this call gamma concentration between 400 and the big strike at 450. And check out what NVIDIA did. We were back here when we posted this gamma exposure data graph, and look, all this call buying was pushing price up over time, and it actually came up here and tagged the 440 level before retracing, and that's exactly where those big gamma concentration levels were. Now we've retraced again back to 400. Let's see where gamma exposure is. On our gamma exposure data graph, we can see zero gamma has come down to the 415. Total gamma is still positive though. However, we're trading down here just above the 400 strike, and look, we still have not as much positive total gamma as we had a few weeks ago, but still we've got these big concentrations here at 420, 430, 440, 450. And so this could still potentially be a magnet. We posted this trade idea just this morning. In our Geek portfolio, we're actually in this position. We sold the 400 395 put spread. We think that's a pretty conservative play with a nice risk reward trade-off given the current environment. That big gamma concentration at the 440 and 450 levels, which is way up here, tends to act as a magnet for price. And so we think that price is going to stay above the 400. You know, we could buy a debit spread or we could buy calls up here, but you know, to play it conservatively and to get the best risk reward trade-off based on those gamma levels for the next few weeks, we like selling the 400 395 put credit spread. So we're trading below the zero gamma level. I still think that's a great play. So of course, on every little pullback, people start getting scared. I mean, we've barely pulled back like 2% since the recent highs. There is the potential that we could trade lower in the coming weeks, fill this gap, come back down here into this concentration zone around 420. I would need to see the volatility index pick up for that to happen. I mean, if you just look at this most recent 2% pullback, it's like a really normal, healthy pullback, very slow, very muted pullback. To get back down to this level anytime soon, I would need to see two things. Basically, the SPY trading below that 430 level, combined with a VIX that is starting starting to approach 20. VIX at 13 or 14. I mean, we can get to that 420 level, but it's going to be like July or August by the time we get there. Whenever we do get to that level, if the options market is positioned the way it's positioned right now, that's going to be an awesome buying opportunity to get back into the market. If you guys want to stay up to date with our gamma exposure levels, we have our portfolio manager service. You can follow along in our model portfolio. We've got our trade ideas dashboard and gamma levels. We've got strategy sessions, a community Discord. We're offering a 1-month free trial. You can just come right down here to the bottom of the page, click here, 1-month free trial, check out our service, no obligation. I think you guys are really going to like it a lot. Link down in the description below. I really appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.